Hey dears, Whimsy and little Bella here. This is my baby. She's my quiet one. Oh, she's a little bit scared. It's okay, baby. It's okay. You're okay. But I don't know about you, but I can't believe it's summer. Like, I've lost all sense of time. Like, I can't believe it's 2/3 the way through July already. So, in order to get you in the mood, I have 5 summer reads, and either they feel like an adventure or a journey, they take place in summer, or in some way or form, they just feel like summer to me. So, here we go with my little sweetie Bella. She's a little bit scared of the camera. She's camera shy. So I might put her away and give her some toys, but she was crying, so I picked her up. So I've had power washing outside my window all day. I'm gonna try to drown it out when I edit this with music, but it is what it is. But anyways, for my first pick, I swear it's essentially Annihilation set in the Edo period. And it's called Hell's Paradise. And first of all, just look at the cover. Like, I'm drawn to any sort of like painterly watercolor things. So essentially it's about Gabimaru, who is a rogue ninja who is immortal and he's set up to be executed, only he can't be killed. They try to kill him all sorts of ways right in the intro, and that's quite an introduction. So finally, the executioner strikes him a bargain. She's like, okay, if you go to the super dangerous island and you procure a elixir of immortality, we'll pardon you and you get to go home and you get to see your wife again. So he agrees, only he joins an expedition team of all these other criminals who are super dangerous. He can't trust them, as well as his own partner, the executioner. So the island itself is super dangerous, and all the criminals are dangerous too. And of course, I love my courtesan cannibal lady like Daki or Rize, those kind of literal man-eater types. I love them so much. But it's overall this really fun thriller with body horror. Like, the monster designs are amazing. And one other thing I forgot to mention about this island is nobody comes back the same. They are transformed by the island. So that's where the Annihilation bit comes from. And if you haven't read the Southern Reach trilogy or watched the Annihilation movie, go and do it, because it is phenomenal sci-fi thriller body horror. So yeah, that's my first pick for you all. Okay, next I have a thriller and horror with no supernatural elements. Sometimes the scariest person can come from within your own home and family. So I have Blood on the Tracks, which is essentially a story about a summer vacation and motherly love gone wrong. And I do have to give content warnings and say that this is not a healthy family. This is a messed up family here. Kind of like, well, Hereditary is supernatural based, but it's essentially a metaphor for a dysfunctional family and the breakdown of a family. And this is what you see here in this manga. It's this delicious unraveling around a family secret. So I definitely recommend this manga. It's by the same mangaka who did Flowers of Evil and Happiness, which I have here. And he just basically, he portrays the worst of humanity. And that's what's so scary. It's not even a monster. So it's the monster within humans. So definitely Blood on the Tracks, pick it up. Okay, I'm gonna switch things up for my next pick. It is a novel, actually, so I have a little bit of everything for everyone. And it is a magical surrealist retelling of the Hades and Persephone myth. And in case you don't know, that is like my absolute favorite Greek Roman myth. I just love the aesthetic of queen of hell and princess goddess of spring so much. The duality of me. But this is an absolutely lovely story about the Bone Gap, a small rural town where people and things, they tend to disappear. They fall through the cracks. But one beautiful girl, she disappears. Her name is Rosa. And the boy who sees and knows her kidnapper, he has a rare and actual neurological condition called, I think it's like facial agnosia? I'm gonna spell it out for you. But essentially it means you can't recognize faces. So he's having to track down clues and find her kidnapper without being able to recognize the kidnapper's face. And also we do get the perspective of Rosa, the girl who was kidnapped, and she's trying to figure out where she is. And it all comes together. And there's just something magical about a small, sleepy, rural town, kind of like in Stranger Things or It, where it's all so intimate and you feel the impact of when somebody goes missing or when something isn't quite awry in that town and there's corn stalks, and it just feels summery to me, and the prose is so lyrical, it's like honey. So definitely pick up The Bone Gap if you're in need of a wordy novel. Okay, it's not long for a novel, but comparatively to manga, it has more words, but you can handle it. I believe in you. Read it. Okay, I have one other very surreal story for you, and it's almost like Sandman. It feels like a fever dream, and it's called Pretty Deadly, and like a dream, it's a little bit fragmented at first. So you have 3 different narratives. First, it's told by a bunny and a butterfly in the afterlife who are telling the story about how death, like the personification of death, fell in love with beauty. And then you have a separate story about an old man and a little girl who are traveling together, but they're being pursued and people are trying to find them and or kill them. And it's in this Wild West setting, and it almost like visually, it's so haunting. It kind of looks like if Bloodborne was set in the Wild West and there's all these awesome badass ladies and it just comes together and coalesces into this beautiful story, and it feels like a modern, like new myth. So I really enjoy Pretty Deadly, and if you love like fairy tales and dark fairy tales, this is like Brothers Grimm type of fairy tales, I recommend picking up Pretty Deadly. Yeah, it's deadly. Okay, last but not least, I have a story about a teenager who can talk to cars, and he's in search for his missing younger little brother. And there's something magical about this. One, it takes place in August, but it kind of has this yearning, wistful feeling to it. Like the guy just goes out on the road and there's this love for clouds and just soaking in all the setting. And I think that's because of, like, if you read the afterword, the mangaka wrote this after she got her license, which is normal in Japan. Like, there's so many trains and good public transportation, you don't always need a license. But she decided to get one and go on a road trip, and she also traveled around the world. And there's this love for travel and sightseeing that I love and that I'm yearning for right now, because I myself can't travel, but it takes place in Iceland. So it's like a little mini vacation. So if you're looking for something different and is super atmospheric and has a touch of like magical realism, then you should pick up Go With the Clouds, North by Northwest. And sorry, I had to read that because it's a long title. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. But yeah, I hope those stories fulfill your wanderlust. They're a little slice of escapism, even if you can't travel across the globe right now. And I hope you enjoy them. And yeah, I picked Bella back up because I was hearing mysterious crashing noises and had to see what she was doing. What were you doing? But thank you for watching. Let me know what you've been reading or watching for your summer reads. And I hope you all have a fabulous summer day. She's less scared. She's getting used to the camera. But thank you all, and I'll catch you on the flip side.